Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here, Golden Opportunities Coaching. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. And what we do around here is give coaching and emotional, psychological, and spiritual advice on a variety of topics. Hopefully, something in our 200 or so audios is helpful to you, adding to it every day, or hopefully so. Anyway, we're going to talk about people pleasing today. Most people do it upon occasion, but many people get addicted to the habit of it. And how do you know if you're a people pleaser? Certainly something worth knowing. So when you're trying to be something to someone, that's great to be supportive to them or whatever. But when we try to be everything to a person, their best friend, their partner, their financial support, their emotional support, their mental support, and I can honestly say I've been in relationships where I've been that person, and it's no fun. It will burn you out quicker than a hiccup, and ultimately it will take you sometimes months or years to recover, depending on how long you've done it and the level of appreciation or validation you got for doing it. So if a person appreciated it, you might be able to look back nostalgically and say, well, at least I helped this person. But if the person was in any way mentally unstable, mentally ill, or they had tendencies towards not caring or being entitled, it'll take a long time to A, break the pattern, but also B, to look and say, hey, wait a second, I don't need to do this anymore. The next is over apologizing. So it's good to apologize, especially when we're genuinely sorry for something. However, people pleaser will often over apologize, if not repetitively and instinctually apologize to the point. Sorry, hiccups there. Speaking of hiccups, to the point where they will actually be the person to apologize for something and not even know what they're apologizing for. This is also a form of over-communication, which is the next point. When you're constantly making excuses, rationalizations, or giving overt numerous reasons for every action taking, you're a people pleaser because you're trying to avoid conflict in a way which will eventually burn you out. Yes, it's important for a person to know where you're coming from. No, they don't need to know every detail. And once they figure out that you have the weakness of being willing to overgive and overcommunicate, they will use that against you and gaslight you into situations where you don't really want to be. Now, if you're lying to cover for your partner, for your friend, or other people, and you're doing this because you don't want them to get the backlash of a negative public view, or you're doing it to help yourself avoid their wrath, number one, that means you're probably in an abusive situation. But number two, it also means that you are more likely than not trying to avoid confrontation because you know the relationship is unbalanced. If you're constantly looking to avoid rejection, rejection's a part of the human experience. There are people that will reject your thoughts, opinions, ideas, concepts, and physical things you come up with. When you understand that rejection is part of life, you can also prepare for it, grieve it, and move on from it. However, if you're a people pleaser, rejection is a extreme fear because it means you failed. It means your value as a person oftentimes goes down and you become uncomfortable with that process. So the next one is holding on to situations for too long. So you may be in a relationship, you may be in a friendship, you may even be in a family situation that you know is toxic, bad, or even in some cases, really extreme cases, downright evil, but you hold on to hope that the person or situation will change for too long. It's always good to give people second chances, and in rare occasions, third. But by the time you get to a third chance, they are not changing, they are not willing, and you need to start moving forward. If you refuse to do this for whatever reason, be it social conception or financial reasons, emotional reasons, fear of being alone, or a combination of all of the above, then you are a people pleaser and you're in an ugly situation. The next one is overgiving or overworking. It's always great to help out, but when you believe that your self-identity is to be the helper, there is danger in that idea because that links with the next thing in line, which is perfectionism. You will never be perfect. You cannot be perfect because that's not a condition that we can attain in physical sense. We're always learning, we're always growing, which means even if it's a minute amount, there's always something that we can fall short of, always something we can learn from. But the overgiver, overworker, is a person who believes they can find some degree of perfection, and they will back themselves into the last point, which is a situation where they feel they have no choice. They may not like their circumstances, they may not like the environment emotionally, physically they find themselves in, but because the idea of saying no or putting up a boundary that the other person may not like feels so uncomfortable and is so unlikely that a person can recover from this, they'll just grin and bear it and feel as though they have no choices, when in reality, choice is one of the few things in life that we have. We may not like the consequences of the choices, but we always have choices. In any event, I encourage you to like, subscribe, comment below. We'll be back tomorrow, but until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.